Almost 1 year later, I returned to the cabin in Wyoming. It looked and smelled exactly the same, but everything was different. Colette had been dead for 2.5 months. "Keep it moving," Kennedy said in her Boston accent, so it sounded like mobbing to me. She bumped my shoulder with her duffel bag, trying to get around me in the cramped cabin entryway. "God, cousin, you're like a rock in a river." "River?" "Sorry," I murmured, my vocal cords hardly working, taking a step toward the bench that had dirty hiking boots lined up under it, but not setting down my own bag. I'd been pretty much silent during the 2-hour solo plane ride from Washington to Salt Lake City, and the 4-hour rental car ride with my relatives from Salt Lake City to Pinedale. Frankie had refused to come back, so that meant my mom and her boyfriend Charles stayed home too. I'd been given a choice. Go alone, with my Boston relatives, of course, or spend the summer at home. Here, I'd go to art camp with strangers and try not to annoy my cousin. There, I'd see the world moving on without Colette firsthand. That hadn't really been a choice to me.
"I'll carry your bag up, Tess,"
Uncle Brand said, appearing behind me.
"I know you don't like the stairs."
I was very aware of the weight being lifted off my right shoulder as Brand took the bag. I felt like it had been keeping me from floating away. I sort of wanted it back. "Thanks," I said weakly. He was already halfway up. Aunt Maureen tiptoed through the door with 5-year-old Kane sleeping in her arms. She lovingly smiled at me before walking down the hallway to put Kane in bed. "Tess?" Now Aunt Maureen was standing by the old compact fridge, without Kane, looking at me expectantly. I guess I'd zoned out. Who knows for how long. "Sorry, what?" I asked. "I asked if you wanted something to drink." She and Uncle Brand didn't have Boston accents since they weren't raised there. Only their kids did. It was kind of weird. Aunt Maureen waited patiently for me to answer. I thought about how she was a slightly younger, more put-together version of my mom. Her short-sleeved blue button-down shirt and tan shorts somehow weren't even wrinkled from traveling all day. But my mom had waved me goodbye this morning in dirty sweats and a messy bun. "I'll get some water," I said. "I'll get it for you," Aunt Maureen said, motioning me over. "Take a seat." The round table could fit 4 people comfortably, or 6, if you didn't mind squishing in. I sat down on one of the outdated chairs. The plastic tablecloth felt sticky, even though it was clean. I reached for a faded wooden lemon from the bowl in the center. Last time I was here, Colette sat across from me. She tried to juggle these lemons. I wonder if she was the last person to touch this. Aunt Maureen set down my water. "Are you doing okay?" Don't ask me that, I thought. It makes it worse. I nodded, because talking would make me cry. I felt like crying anyway. I picked up the glass and tried to wash away the lump in my throat. Uncle Bran and Kennedy thunked down the stairs, across the room, and out the back door. "Why doesn't she have to help unload the car?" Kennedy asked her dad. I heard her through the screen door.
"She's been through hell,"
Uncle Bran said.
"I think you can manage some kindness for—"
Aunt Maureen shut the inside door. "Want to go lie down until dinner?" I didn't want to do anything. "Sure." I stood up, and Aunt Maureen pulled me into a tight hug. "Oh, Tessie Bear, you've had a hard time of it." But things will get better. Day by day, it'll get better. So many adults had said to me, it'll get better. No, it won't, I thought.